Guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're gonna be talking about my Mach 1 and the first month overview. Honestly, it's been a little bit over a month, 891 miles as we're currently speaking, and I'm gonna give you an update of everything that I've learned with this car. Do I like it? Do I recommend it? And it's just gonna be my first month overview of ownership, and kind of like a review, but not really a review because I haven't broken in the motor still, so I'm waiting to getting 1,000 miles to do a full review on this car. This is gonna be an update of the car, and hopefully you guys like it, and hopefully it'll give you an insight of the ownership of this car, since I know a lot of people are considering buying one of these cars. So I'm thinking that this might help you if you're on the fence of getting a new 23 Mach 1 or 21 through 23 Mach 1. So first things first, have I had any major problems with this car? And the short answer is yes. I did have an issue with this car where I had to take it back to the dealership, and that was because one of the tail lights, one of the tri-bars from the rear, was the driver's side, stopped working. I'm gonna insert a clip so you can see it, and that was very annoying. So I did have to take the car to the dealership. Thankfully this car, since it's a brand new car, it's covered on the warranty, so I was able to take this car to the dealership, and it took them a few days. And what actually happened was that when Ford put together this car, it looks like one of the harness that goes to, the wiring that goes to the tail light, it got cut up, and one of the cables, I guess, it shorted out, or they sliced one of the cables, and there was no power being received to that tail light. So it took them a few days. They had to reorder a new wiring, for that tail light, and ever since, honestly, there hasn't been any major issues besides that one. This car drives amazing. It's one of those cars that you like scratch your head and you're like, how do they do it? In the sense of it literally could do it all. This car, like I said before, I haven't been able to take in a full throttle and stuff, but I've been able to have some fun, little pulls here and there, not full throttle, but all the way to 6,000 RPMs. And this thing just pulls really strong after 4,000 RPMs. Like, it pulls hard, and it's just so different compared to where I'm coming from, my old 3 Cobra, where everything was down low. Obviously you got power because it's a dual overhead cam, and it built power towards the end, but not like this. This you got to work a little bit more, but it's so rewarding once you get past 4,000 RPMs. It's truly a unique experience, and it's something very, 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 very cool if you haven't experienced it. Another thing that I gravitated myself tremendously, and it was the biggest decision making when I bought this car, is this Tremec transmission. And I'm happy to report, guys, that this is a wonderful transmission. This transmission comes in the Shelby GT350. I believe it comes also on the CO6, Corvette CO6, the C7 generation. And I'm happy to report that this transmission is nothing but a pleasure to work with. It just feels so positive. The gear patterns, it's like having a short shifter from the factory. It doesn't play around. If you're driving stock Mustangs, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where your shifter just have so much play inside, in between the gears. Just the gates here are very, very defined, and just a very positive and mechanical feel. Another thing, the Tremec, on this car, you could flat foot this thing when you go full throttle, and it has, I don't know if you can hear that, red mash. Let me just throw this thing in my mode, which I put the exhaust in track mode. This car, it has a lot of personality, I guess you could say, because you could throw this car into just normal driving mode, close the valves, and it just drives like a stock, like a 2015 Mustang GT. It's that quiet. You'll not be able to hear the exhaust. I'm not kidding. You put it in normal, and then it opens up a little bit, and then you put this thing on track, and it just crackles some pops. And if you go through your suspension, you put a stiff, you could notice the body roll, how it gets eliminated when you're taking a turn going fast. And if you don't feel like that, you could just put the car in normal mode, and the suspension just relax, and it's just a fine cruiser. One thing that I've noticed going into this car was that, I'm coming from a 40,000, a very clean 2003 SVT Cobra, and that car is obviously way more rare than this car is currently right now. Obviously, this is a new Mustang. There's gonna be a lot more. It's gonna be a lot more Mach 1s running around than 03, 04 Cobras. And I'm a Mustang historian myself, in the sense that I love to learn about Mustangs and the history. So I knew that I was driving something more rare and honestly faster than this car, at least, in a bone stock trim and straight line performance. But I did not expect for this car to get the attention that it gets. Man, you cannot go anywhere and you see people staring at this car. Look at this guy just revving his motor right next to me. See that? It's just everywhere you go, you get so much more attention with this car. I don't know if it has to do anything with the paint, with the Jet Fighter grade paint job that this car comes with, the orange stripes on the hood. But it's just the charisma of this car. People love this car. I don't know. You get so much more attention on this versus the 03 Cobra. And honestly, I didn't expect that. I thought that, people were gonna, some people are gonna recognize this car, but there's so many S550s just running around versus Terminator Cobras, that I was like, people are not gonna care as much as they do for this car. And I was wrong. I admit it. This car, people know what it is. People like it, kids see it, they love this car, and it's just, wow, you get so much more attention. I did not expect that. I don't know if you could hear that. Let me put it in the loudest exhaust. It just sounds very, very deep. That's just fun. That's just very, very, very much fun. I mean, that never gets old. That never gets old. Another thing, the braking on this car is truly amazing. Up front, you got Brembo 6-piston brakes, and they just work like magic. I believe Car and Driver tested, the performance package with the stickier Michelin Cup 2 tires. They got 94 feet, 60 to 0. So that is supercar level. The braking in all the Mach 1s is the same hardware. Difference is the tires and the tire size, and obviously the downforce. But you still get all the coolers. You still get the same driving experience. Again, this car is just going through the turns on this thing is just amazing. The suspension is specific to the Mach 1. It's basically, I said it on my initial video when I bought it. This is a reliable Shelby GT350 because you have the Coyote. The 350 is more exotic in a way that, you know, the sound, that Voodoo engine is just amazing because the way that it sounds, and it revs all the way to 8250. But this motor still revs to 7,500 RPMs. It makes more torque, at least not on paper, but it feels more torquey. And it's just, you could throw boost at it, and you know, the motor holds up to 1,000 horsepower without a problem. And it makes power like crazy. Like, for example, my friend has a Mach 1 with I believe it's a Pro Charger on 93 octane, only 10 psi, makes 730 to the rear wheels on pump gas 93. If that's not ridiculous, then I don't know what is, because 10 psi on pump gas 93, you're making 730. This is a car that you could daily drive all day, and it drives like a stock car besides you getting on it. So it's just, I mean, technology, man, the times that we live in right now are just amazing. Once I get on my full review, I encourage you guys to stay tuned for that. This is just my first month overview and impressions of this car. And do I recommend this car? Heck yeah. If you could afford this car, by all means, you should get one. Again, it all depends on your priorities. If you want to go drag racing and that's your only main objective, I would suggest getting a GT because you're paying more for different things here. But if you want to go and have fun on the twisties, if you want to go to a racetrack, and if you want to have the best Coyote ever built, this is it. This is the Mach 1. It's the S550. We'll talk about the 24s in a different video, but this thing is just unbelievable, guys. I hope that you found this video informative, and short answer is I absolutely love this car so far. I'm loving the ownership of this car, and I truly recommend this car. And if you love Mustangs, if you love a car that could stop amazingly, turn, pull over a G on cornering, and you know, you could do this all day because it has all the track coolings and it's not gonna overheat. It just has everything that you want in a car. You could also go across the country on this car and go anywhere and be comfortable. You still have AC on you when you share heated and cool seats. The bolstering is just great, so comfortable. It feels refined, where you can put your family here and go anywhere and still go to your favorite back roads and have a blast. Dual pulse to 7,500 RPMs, almost 500 horsepower, normally aspirated. I think this is it. This is a great package that Ford put together. And you have also the looks. You know, you're driving something unique. You have a serialized car, a car that's gonna hold its value more than a Mustang GT. I think Mach 1 is the answer, unless you're looking for, you know, maybe a dark horse or something like that. But Mach 1 has so much more history, from the 60s, early 2000s to now. I think this is a great car. That's honestly my opinion, and I don't regret one bit getting this car, and I absolutely love it. So all right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Hopefully you found this video to be helpful, and you know, if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to respond to you, and like always, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.